folks, Golf Ball here, and Tyler Bates, another NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. This is where we are finishing off for this game, and for not always the most important thing in the whole part of the Western Conference, the final two teams left for game number 3. And as for now, Rockets and Wolves are the only matchups that we have left. And now, Houston Rockets are at Minnesota. Can they find their win to get up for the lead? Or will this be Minnesota to get the extension 3-0 over Houston? Well, this might be the next spot that we're looking for, but it may not be like they're doing anything like they've done it possible. And now, as for my last commentaries on the support, I have is Kevin Harlan, along with Greg Anthony, and David Aldrich will be the sideline reporter for tonight's game. And you'll be seeing what's going in with the Rockets or the Timberwolves if one of them wins. As right now, Udoka is the head coach for the Rockets, and Chris Finch is the head coach for the Wolves. Let's get going. Wolves, Rockets, next on 2K Sports. See you later for the postgame show. Now, let's get to roll.
And just about to get underway as the starting fives have been announced. Sit tight. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome everybody to another presentation of the NBA live on 2K Sports. Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Harlan. With me, Richard Jefferson and Greg Anthony. And as always, the Hall of Famer David Aldridge joining us from the sideline. And the Houston Rockets starting 5. At the guard position, Van Fleet in green. Alvin Sengun out there, Thompson. And it's Brooks in the boost. And from Minnesota, Conley Edwards in the guards. And out there with McDaniels. And it's Gobert in the front. RJ, this is exactly how you want to end the season, right? Both of these teams fighting for playoff position.
It's amazing how after an entire season of games, your seeding can be determined tonight. Shows you how close things are in the NBA at any given moment.
Now here's Randall. Against Golden State, he was really on his game. McDaniels in the post. Brooks covering. His first shot is a miss. 0 for 1 to start the contest. It's up a 3. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Edwards looking it over. Conley against Van Fleet. Conley!
Such a high IQ. When the mid-range opens up like that, he goes right up without hesitation.
Here's Van Fleet. Takes it off the court.
Once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open. Easy possessions like that really are just a gift. You just dream of them. You gladly take those.
Here is Edwards. Following the basket by Fred Van Fleet. Edwards gets to Randall. Knocks it loose. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Green. It's in. Coming off the assist from Thompson.
Nice handle move there for Green.
And so Edwards will bring it up for the Timberwolves. Edwards!
What I saw, that move was out of this world.
Executed to perfection, Greg. He had the rim in his sights and was not going to be stopped. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
Here's Gobert, following the basket by Jalen Green. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Randall from outside. It's rebounded by Sengun. Rockets have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Here's Van Fleet. Got it. Good job.
And early on, they've been nearly perfect from the floor. Just the one miss here on their first 5 attempts.
Conley feeling it out. Outside Edwards.
Off the bounds. Edwards working on his shot off the catch, and it is paying off.
You can see how impressive that move was. Van Vliet passes to Green. Şengün trying to free himself up. They grab their own miss. For three, Van Vliet. Kept alive by Houston. Goes up with it again. That will not get it done. He's 0 for 2. Minnesota's gone 1 or 2 from long range in the first quarter. McDaniels passes to Randall. Kicks to Edwards. And here we go. Thompson heading to the hoop. Coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
Routinely catches the winners.
And RJ without a consistent jumper, Harlan Thompson has proven to be a productive player.
And that jumper should develop over time. But he does everything else at a high level. He's extremely versatile, especially on that defensive end, Kevin.
Shot 2. Makes the first. RG, the Rockets don't just have young talent, they have elite young talent.
Yeah, you can have all the high draft picks in the world. That doesn't mean you're going to hit on the right guys. But Houston, they certainly have.
He's off on the second.
I know he's kicking himself for not snatching the lead. But look, he tied things up.
Gobert finds Randall. Now McDaniels. Back to Randall. Gobert trying to get open. Goes back up. And it's Julius Randall.
Fans cannot underestimate Randall's strength. Pushes right through the contact and gets the shot.
Now here's Green. He points his last outing. Brooks outside. On the wing, Green. Edwards defending. Şengün with a wide open look. The Rockets with another miss.
Now I understand that shot didn't go down, but they will take that look every trip down the floor.
To the left wing. Randall from outside. Julius Randall with a
It seems that every pass they made is leading to a score. Just a great ball.
Van Vliet against Connor. Van Vliet with the timeout call. First of the game for Minnesota.
Timberwolves
Finish off a win against the Warriors.
It helps when our opponent makes that many mistakes. I thought that was the story of the game. It definitely made things easier for them. When the other team is just handing you the ball back, you gotta make them pay for it.
Now here's what I need to call on what they're paid for is now. As you can tell for Julius Randle, as the name of it is applied already, the last part of a contract was played for the New York Knicks. As you make it over to happen again. You guys been playing to show how it is going to be feeling. But this time, he made his team win against the Los Angeles Lakers in the first round. And they pulled an upset. That's the number 7 seed team moves on to the second round that they face against the Golden State Warriors. It's not really easy enough how they would do. You know, as you may have already seen things, their golf ball. What do you think? Well, I'm going to say Julius Randle might be able to keep things going and probably want to go back in the Western Conference Finals again. I think this is the Western part of the team that they're looking for. Alright, we might find out what it takes in, but only time will tell. Back to Kevin Arlen.
Different substitution now for Minnesota. Reed, he's checked in for Gobert. Clark comes in for McDaniels. Alexander Walker, he's checked in for Edwards. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Mike Conley.
Every year it seems like
Julius Randle.
awareness. And that's why you can now run the offense through.
Calling in against DiVincenzo. Easton passes to Holiday. It's good for Murray.
He likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
Minnesota's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Now, here's DiVincenzo. He provides a good amount of offense for the team, averaging around 11.5 points a game. Randall finds Reed. The rebound by Steven Adams.
Gotta applaud the defensive effort. It's not easy to stop him getting in the lane like that.
Shot by Easton, no good. Minnesota in the lead. Clark into the lane. And he comes up with Jones. All of him. And so it's Holiday with it. He'll bring it up for Houston.
2 minutes remaining in the first
To
quarter.
the right wing, to the paint. Here's Adams. Uses the pass to finish the list.
And this is where Adams has the biggest impact. The closer to the basket, the more effective he is.
Clark outside. 1:39 left in the first quarter of the game. Clock at 6. DiVincenzo passes to Clark. Count that one.
DiVincenzo.
1:20 left to play in the first quarter. Now Holiday, who's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Got a piece of it. He's in with it. Outside Holiday. For the 3. They get it back. Adams. Bucket is good.
You have to put a body on Adams. He's too good of an offensive rebounder to not pay attention.
And here is DiVincenzo. 9 points, last game out. 44 seconds left in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. The Timberwolves need to get a shot off here. And the
Nikita Alexander Walker.
And they just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Now here is Holiday. Passes to Smith. Some nice passing there by Houston. Adams shot is off. Minnesota lead by 4. And go outside. Pass to DiVincenzo. Alexander Walker on the wing. Here's DiVincenzo. Can't get the bucket from 20 feet out.
And that's the end of the first quarter. There's Minnesota Timberwolves 22. And the Houston Rockets 82.
End of the first quarter. Be back soon for the second.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And what do you guys think so far about the offensive approach for the Timberwolves?
So far, they haven't had to force anything. They're swinging the ball around and turning good passing into points.
And also, they've been draining mid-range jump shots, measuring the defense well, and just taking what they give.
Rockets trail by 4. So on the floor for Houston. Running the wings, they'll go with Green and Brooks. Thompson is out there with Alfred Şengün. And it's Van Vliet into the point. Now Reed. Following the miss by Fred Van Vliet from deep.
Gobert.
1 for 1.
This is by Harris Reed.
The ball hopping around here offensively.
Now here's Van Vliet. 17 points for him last game against Golden State.
He's more than chipped in on the glass as well. Just a tremendous effort last time out.
Gobert with the block.
And when Gobert is playing with this kind of aggression on that end, there aren't many better at defending.
Here's McDaniels. Pass to Dillingham. 6 to shoot. Down low. He goes up again. And it's
Rudy Gobert.
Gobert has got the lead up to 8 now for the Timberwolves. It moves against Green. The pass to Brooks. And rejection by McDaniels.
Out of bounds.
And that's a
Houston
Last touch by McDaniel. On defense, the Timberwolves haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. Shingle with the bucket. And you hear Richard about players dunking and putting a hurting on the rim. That iron sometimes can put a hurting on a player's hands too, right?
Oh, and then when you get older, those landings, they can start to hurt too. End of the day, there's a price to be paid for all that high-flying, in-ring wrecking, and it's worth it.
Here's Gobert. And the rebound goes to the Rockets. Green draws the double. It's Brooks on the wing. Shoots over McDaniel. And Shingle is right there.
That anticipation is off the charts from Şengün, leading to a bucket.
Master Reed. Edwards with it. To the right side. Fires from deep. And Dillian. And the Timberwolves. And so Green will bring it up for the Houston Rockets.
Time out, Houston.
Time out of the game.
Every time out, a chance to review lineups, matchups, or call a play. I'm sure all of the above is in order, and you can never be too content.
How can you say now? That's what happened with Dillingham. He just had that three-pointer, and he just made it in. I don't see anybody that's trying to confuse on him. Is that a real deal, or is it not? I don't think so. I don't think it wasn't going to be like that anyway. So we've been doing things right across lately. As for Minnesota Wolves, they haven't just got back into the finals this quarter, and they really wanted to get in. Will they have a chance to enter this one back in the part of the postseason for real? Or will this be the end as the Golden State Warriors are trying to get them down right towards across the bottom into the second round of the conference semifinals? Well, you'll be seeing what's going on if you're able to watch this game here on the NBA app or on TV. Right along the range of watching or streaming on the devices, you'll be able to find out what goes in. Never miss a moment with the NBA app. And this will be the question: Wolves or Warriors? Your choice. Back together.
The Timberwolves making a change here. Bradley's checked in. Jeff Green is checked in for the Rockets. Here's Van Vliet. Good. Point by Green to
Assist.
Van Vliet's got 8 points.
Although he is just 6 feet tall, Van Vliet has no issue going into the land of the Giants.
On the wing, Thompson. And a miss there on the triple.
You can't miss those, but even the best do on occasion.
It's stolen by Green. And here we go. Van Vliet heading to the hoop. With the second effort, the layup off target.
Not his best efficiency this quarter. Sometimes that's how it goes.
Conley against Van Vliet. Charity swipe shot. He finds that one.
Conley!
And down it falls. Conley's got his second basket.
The silky smooth dribble move from Conley. So slick in how he creates for himself.
Here's Thompson. And rebounded by McDaniel. Timberwolves leading by 7. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Kevin, thanks. Jalen Green has shown he's capable.
Rudy Gobert! Anthony Edwards.
A lot of things can grow, but that's what I work for. I want to be one of those guys that you give the ball to in crunch time. Kevin, I always want to give the mic to you.
Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball.
I appreciate that. By the way, Green can be electric and so fun to watch. Hey, DA, thanks. Minnesota's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc so far tonight. Now Conley. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Here's Dillingham. Headed by Green. Rockets trail by 9. And Greg, talk about a guy who can create for himself. Dillingham can already score on elite defender.
Yeah, and exactly. A lot of that is his footwork. You can see the hours he's put into it. And then add in the body control. Good luck slowing this young man down.
Out to Conley. Back to Gobert. Poke loose. Shot clock at 5. Beyond the arc. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Not quite enough defense. That time around, just lucky he was off.
Back to Thompson. High, arcing shot. Gobert with the block.
And there's a reason Gobert's led the league in block shots.
Dillingham. For 3, Edwards.
Edwards for three!
Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
Houston Rockets call timeout.
Really get after it.
He can sense that they're reeling, and he's gonna put his foot on the pedal.
Timeout call, the Rockets.
And they just can't seem to get going offensively.
And Coach Paul has time to try and reset things on offense, shake them up a bit so they can hopefully start getting some shots to fall.
Well, this is like amazing already. I felt like this one is just, oh my. I am not surprised with this again. I'm really not kidding at all, but that was unbelievable. Big block by Rudy Gobert. I never seen it. It's the big swatter. It's definitely a big swatter. That's what you have to know for. The king of the wolf, he's definitely like swatting that ball, just like a Nas Reed. He's always noticing. Make it look like endless mode. He's really like giving a good thing, and he does. Don't forget, folks, halftime show will be coming up after the first half is concluded. Ernie Johnson with Shaq O'Neal, the big fella, and Kenny the Jets. That'll be all the games here to check out the first half status. And with our big moments, we'll be seeing what's going on in those tapes. Alright, we'll see you all later, folks, for the post-game show. Once again, halftime show will be underway next after this.
Daniels checked in for the Timberwolves. Dante DiVincenzo comes in for Michael Conley. Houston with a big group substitution here. Steven Adams, he's checked in for Green. Smith comes in for Amen Thompson. Tari Eason's checked in for Brooks. And Aaron Holiday is subbed in for Fred Van Vliet.
For Jalen Green to be an all-star level guy, he's got to knock down those threes.
DiVincenzo passes to Randall. Nick Daniels with the ball. He has yet to score. Here's Green. Rebound, Minnesota.
And they're controlling.
2 minutes remain in the first half. 2 minutes.
DiVincenzo finds McDaniel.
First of
Just
all,
a quick look now at how the point totals over the last several months for Nas Reed.
Well, sometimes you go up, sometimes down, and the trend has been on the downward side in terms of his average points per game. And a variety of factors can be the culprit. And a lot of times you focus on the efficiency more than just pure point output.
And the wide open shot from Green. Anthony Smith with the assist that time. Green's got 10.
And they're hitting the long-range shots that they were missing in the first quarter, but still have ground to make up.
Here's McDaniels.
McDaniel!
A fantastic decision-making big. Randall with the right choice there, finding the open man.
And so Holiday will bring it up for Houston. 8-point game. Eason gets a wide open look. Shot clock reset for the Rockets. Out of bounds.
How about Timberwolves ball?
Stats for DiVincenzo. How's the season turning out for him? Averaging about 11 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds. And to have a player who can fill it up like him coming in off the bench, what an asset.
He's crucial to the success of their second unit because he can keep that offense rolling.
Passes it to Edwards. And again it's
Anthony Edwards!
A key factor for them offensively, scoring with consistency.
in the corner. It's Eason. Sinks the three-pointer. Eason's got himself on the board with 3 there.
They're having more success from three-point range here in the second after a rough first quarter from deep.
Edwards passes to McDaniels. DiVincenzo, the bounce pass. Here's Randall. Not going to go that time. Adams, a nice D. It's trailed by 7. To the inside. And the dunk by Smith.
How about the force on that finish by Smith?
Minnesota's gone 2 for 5 from 3-point land since the end of the first. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. A 3 for DiVincenzo. It's rebounded by Houston. Here's Eason. He averages more than 12 points a game. That's some dependable production. Out to Smith. This one for 3. It's hauled in by Edwards. Here's Dillingham. That's it. Fourth assist in this one. And so
That's the end of the first half. Minnesota Wolves 43. I know Rockets 35.
they love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. They'll take a quick break and then back to the action here.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. Bernie Johnson alongside Shaquille O'Neal and the Jet. Let's get to it. There was no stopping Anthony Edwards in the first half. He had 12 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. And Shaq, what do you think about what we saw from Minnesota?
Ball movement was a real factor. But it was selfishness with patience. Guys got shots in their face. Get those opportunity looks.
How about you, Kenny? What did you think about Houston?
Well, it's never. This man is on fire. This team was on fire. They showed effort on defense. But it didn't matter. They couldn't get the stop. I don't think the opponent can sustain this kind of game.
And that'll do it for our halftime report. Stay tuned for the second half. About to get underway.
You've been watching the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And happy you could join us. We've got 2 quarters left to go in regulation. You know, Anthony Edwards has been exceptional here, guys.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look they wanted.
You love guys who can get their shots within the flow of the offense.
He's trailed by 8. Edwards on the wing. He is joined by McDaniel. Gobert is out there with Randall, and it's Conley into the point. So that's the lineup for Minnesota. Here's Şengün. And they're paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
That is where Şengün is best, around the hoop with great touch.
Conley dishes to Gobert. He kicks to McDaniels. Stolen by Brooks. And it's Houston on the break. And that one clearly foul. Gets the whistle. 2 shots coming up. This time James McDaniel.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
You talk about reputations, RJ. You have one like Dylan Brooks.
I'll give it to this man. He is fearless. He doesn't care if it's Steph, LeBron, his mom, whoever. Dylan is trying to get in their head. You want guys like that on your side.
First free throw is good.
And there's a flexibility to Brooks' game. He can play a specific role for you, or he can be a high usage guy. Really depends on what a team needs from night to night.
And both free throws good for Brooks. Timberwolves leading by 4. Conley kicks to McDaniels. Oh, the one to Gobert. He doesn't hit that one.
And that was lining up to be a huge alley-oop, but they just couldn't quite connect.
That's just going to show how tight your timing needs to be.
All to the Wolves. Jordan's running. Second personal foul. Second team
Rockets have
foul.
been successful in 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this one.
We're used to finishing shots.
And he knocks down the first one.
Lots of promise in Şengün's game. Certainly has the frame to be special.
He hits one and misses one each at the line. And now Baron Şengün continues to prove himself over Jay as one of the game's most promising big men.
A lot of it is because of his passing ability, Kevin. Shades of Nikola Jokic out there. Having a big man who can distribute like Şengün is a great level.
And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Rockets. Haven't given up any points here in the second half. Brooks against McDaniel. Brooks the best of Van Fleet. 6 on the shot clock. Trying to break that ice cold streak. And it's good on the way in. Van Fleet's got 10 points in the game.
And unafraid to challenge the heart of this defense. Van Vliet's a strong finisher for his size.
Pass to Edwards.
Edwards!
Big game. His confidence couldn't be higher. And coach knows it.
When it ain't broke, leave it alone until someone stops it. Just let it roll.
Stolen by Michael Conley. McDaniels passes to Edwards. It's stolen by Green. Get the shot. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Gobert's got his 8th rebound here tonight. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. Edwards dishes to Conley. Lock at 6. And he banks
Mike Conley!
It's a 5-point Minnesota lead.
And he's been a terrific point guard in this league for a long time. Mike Conley just knows how to play. He's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points. Now here's Conley. He's got 6. Edwards kicks to McDaniels. Here's Randall. Yeah,
Julius Randle!
points in the game.
You know, they like Randall to be an offensive presence in the paint. They want him to be an option on every possession.
There's Green with the 3. Rudy Gobert with the rebound. Gobert's got 9 rebounds now tonight. Van Vliet against Conley. Outside Edwards.
Anthony Edwards for three!
You're seeing tonight why Edwards was selected first overall. Anthony has a special ability to score.
Timberwolves leading by 8. Shoots. And
Anthony Edwards!
just
the ball. Rudy Gobert!
Impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing, but also
Very
Execution. And what stands out is that they're just taking what the defense gives them, not
Timberwolves call
forcing
timeout.
And the Timberwolves call timing.
Some timeouts you just know you're going to get yelled at, and with these two players, I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be a very pleasant timeout.
As we have some upcoming games here, folks, as for game number 4, as we are making our way through. The first game, as we're about to be seeing things, is the big start. The first one, as we're about to be seeing, is the Bucks taking on against the Pacers. That will be right now, that will be tonight's game. First game will be the Caps and the Hawks here at 1 p.m. Then the second game will be the Lakers as they face off against the Warriors at the next place at Chase Center. Then the Bucks versus the Pacers at Fiserv.Forum. And the final game will be happening with the Clippers and the Nuggets back at Intuit Dome in Los Angeles. It's definitely going to be amazing, so I can't wait to see what it's going to happen with that. And for the next other side of the game will be the Knicks versus the Pistons. And then after the coverage of the Mavericks and the Thunder, then the next night's game, Magic and the Celtics. And final game will be all you know for Wolves and Rockets for every game 4. Can't wait for game 4, so that'll be soon after this. Back to Kevin.
Some changes for Minnesota. Naz Reid, he's checked in for Rudy Gobert. Hart comes in for McDaniels. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker in for Edwards. And then for Houston, Freeze checked in for Thompson. Tari Eason comes in for Dylan Brooks. And it's Whitmore in for Fred VanVleet. And stolen by Eason. Outside, Green. Back to Eason. Shot from 12. And that one is off.
And battling hard on the glass. They hold the advantage here so far.
And the pass to Conley. Back to Randall. Green with the block. Green deciding where to go with it. From outside, off the mark. Minnesota leading by 7. Randall finds Clark. Back to Randall.
He's been off. Still, they're up, so not all is lost.
And out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Timberwolves ball.
Now a chance to take a look at some numbers for Jalen Green. Conley against Green. Back to Clark. Over Eason. Another miss by Minnesota. Rockets trail by 7. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Guys, what do you think about the offensive we've seen so far for Minnesota?
They're moving the ball around so well, guys. Quick passes, letting the next guy do the work if you don't have a look.
And also, guys, they push the ball and been able to score in transition, trying to take advantage of playing in the open floor as often as possible.
Free throw good from Eason. Smith checked in for Green.
7 back in for the Rockets. Number 10, Jabari Smith Jr.
No good on the second free throw.
And they came out of the locker room after halftime with a much more physical approach than we saw in that first half.
And you gotta love the big push it into paint in this sort of a grind it out.
Pass to Reed. Eason against Clark. And stolen by Şengün. Here's Green. It's good. It's a 6 make against 11 attempts. Hey guys, let's get your take on the hustle
Timberwolves
sticks.
ball.
They've been defending with excellent anticipation. Most times they've managed to get their hands on the ball.
And another thing they did well was just keep the effort up offensively. Lots of boards leading to extra opportunities, which they converted.
Incredible for his age, the decision-making of Şengün GA is very impressive.
So calm when he sees a double coming. Reads and reacts with ease when he's on the block or at the nail. reminds you of a young Jokic with how he sees the game.
It's a lot of pursuits in a game now. Down to under 2 minutes remaining. Let's finish it off.
Dante DiVincenzo is checked in for the Timberwolves. And a change for the Rockets. Holiday's checked in. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Passes it to Alexander Walker. A 3 for DiVincenzo.
Dante DiVincenzo for 3!
You can't lose a shooter like him on the court. The ball will find its way to him, and he will drill a 3 each time.
Back to Whitmore. Here's Şengün. Goes up again. And the foul.
Another foul of the Rockets. He's the first personal foul.
Minnesota leading by 5. And here is DiVincenzo. 5 points in the game. Randall against Smith. It's rebounded by Houston. Smith's got 4 rebounds in this game. 43 seconds left in the third. The slam.
Oh, he threw that one down. Adams, one of the fiercest competitors in the league.
Now here's DiVincenzo. Pass to Alexander Walker. Al Randall.
Julius Randle.
That's a guy you want taking shots, a quality offensive player.
Rockets trail by 5. And there's the pass to Holiday. And a wide open look for Whitmore. It's good. The assist that time from Holiday.
And this is crucial to Whitmore's development, wanting to continue to improve as a scorer.
And the left side. Here's Alexander Walker. And the last.
Let's see it for a quarter.
And we
Minnesota Wolves 90-59 and the Rockets 57.
And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the fourth quarter of action when we return.
1 more quarter left, and that will conclude the first game, day 2 of game 3. Coming up next, final quarter.
Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, terrific, unselfish play right here. Set up his teammate, and how about the setup this was?
We talk a lot about playing for one another. Right there with the pass, he's demonstrated what it means to do exactly this.
Come on, open! It's that time because the fourth quarter is our time.
Minnesota's got a positive outcome on 7 of their 14 three-pointers in this game. Randall taking a look at the Rockets. At the guard position, Van Vliet and Green. Brooks is out there with the men Johnson. And it's Smith in at the 5, down low. Now here's Van Vliet. And stolen by DiVincenzo. Back to Gobert. And stolen by Thompson. And it's Houston on the break to tie it up. Here's Smith. Gobert with the block. Edwards passes to Reed. Back to Edwards. And he's fouled. On that shot.
It's offset. That's first personal foul.
How about the commitment from Edwards?
Alive with Wolves. Avery Edwards. 2 shots.
Shoot 2. Throw good, Edwards.
And what you love about Edwards is how intense he is Guy plays hard every minute he's on the floor.
He hits both from the stripe.
No surprise there. He's about as automatic as it gets from the stripe. I hope I didn't jinx him.
Here's Van Vliet. The Rockets with another miss.
I rushed that one a little bit. Very clean look inside.
Reed against Thompson. Outside Edwards. Back to Reed.
No!
Reed. The Timberwolves win by 6.
From Anthony Edwards.
Saw the play develop and hit him right when he needed to.
Van Vliet wide open. Good. Green picking up the assist. Green's got 3 assists in the game. DiVincenzo kicks to Edwards. Pass to Reed. Back to Edwards. Shot clock at 6. A three for DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo!
Stretch the floor.
Houston calls timeout.
We see this kind of exchange more often than not.
Timeout call from Rockets. And the wideover seen from Anthony Edwards.
This timeout gives them a chance to strategize because whatever the game plan they have, it's not working.
Man, definitely a lot of work afterward. Only 6:04 remaining. It's a 66-60 game. Who do you think it's going to win? I felt like it's going to be a 3-0 series. Minnesota's definitely on our top of the notch. 7th seed team, 2nd seed team for the Houston Rockets. Looks like they may not be able to get into the second round that far. And it seemed like they're losing their spot in. So it could be one problem to make it in. Yeah, I would have mentioned it before. It's just worthless. Nothing really stands it in there. They're having to try hard than one time. Well, let's hope there is for anything, because that might be a finish off to their successful plays. Alright, let's hope there is a close game range between Houston or Minnesota as we go back to Kevin Harlan. All for you.
And the Rockets making a change here. Shengun's checked in. Let's check in with our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Ime Udoka's huddle. Now, he preached the importance of patience down the stretch. Coach said we're not going to get it all back at once. Let's take it one trip at a time. Make it simple, make it easy. Kevin, back to you.
All right, thank you, David. Now, here's DiVincenzo. After Jalen Green's miss, back to Reed. The dish to Edwards. And the foul.
What was the call? This was control foul.
No doubt about it with their turnovers in the second half.
Rockets trail by 6. Thompson looking for an opening. Another miss by Houston.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for them, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Reed finds Edwards. DiVincenzo with it. Covered by Van Vliet.
DiVincenzo! 3!
And that's on the defense there. Gotta know the scouting report and understand that he loves his shot.
And every miss finds its way into his hand. What an impressive performance.
You aren't exaggerating. You don't get to 20 rebounds without having a special talent for grabbing misses.
Rudy Gobert!
Timberwolves lead by 11.
DiVincenzo!
Easy bucket in the paint.
Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. And there's the call by the officials.
And now checking in for the Minnesota Wolves, Mike Conley.
Guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Mike Conley's checked in for Minnesota. underway just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. That one.
How about that move? Takami adjusting around the contact to get the finish.
They kick it out to Green. On the 3-off target.
You know what? He's got to look to get other guys involved. The three-point stroke is off.
Gobert the pass to Edwards. Passes it to Reed. And the
Fouls on your set. On there, Thompson.
on Thompson.
Live in the Minnesota Wolves. Nas free. 2 shots.
Shot 2. And that one falls for Reed. Both free throws good for Reed. And here's Green. He'll bring it up for the Houston Rockets. Trailing by 13. Here's Şengün. Green with the block. And they'll keep possession. They kick it out to Green. Brooks with no one around. Great play by Green to set it up. Green's got 4 assists in the game. Here's Minnesota. They're on a 16-7 run. Conley against Van Vliet. Conley left side. Here's Gobert over Brooks. Gobert.
Rudy Gobert.
Got the lead up to 13 now for the Timberwolves.
And good luck keeping Gobert off the boards. He has a tremendous nose for the ball.
It's stolen by Gobert. Here's Edwards. Shooting.
Fouls on Houston.
The whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
This was supposed to foul.
Every defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
Live in the Minnesota Wolves. Anthony Edwards. 2 shots.
Throw good, Edwards. Julius Randle's checked in for Rudy Gobert.
Subbing in for the Minnesota Wolves. Julius Randle.
And Edwards drops him off.
Doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
Defense.
Brooks in the corner. The putback. Reed with the rebound. Timberwolves leading by 15. Outside Edwards. Back to Randle. And
Julius Randle. Anthony Edwards with the assist.
Houston's gone into a funk from downtown north. Only 1 of their 5 3-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket.
Nothing is going his way in this half offensively. Really having a hard time finding his shot.
Right side, Conley.
2 minutes remaining for his
Find the shoot.
2 minutes.
Over Green. Edwards finds Randle. No good that time. It's trailed by 17. Pass to Brooks. Stolen by McDaniels. Now Reed. On the pass to Edwards. 1:31 left in the fourth quarter. There's McDaniels.
Jaden McDaniels. 3.
don't see this kind of a blowout often, but tonight this is a quality win across the board to deliver out this kind of punishment.
They definitely never changed the approach. They just kept after it and showed they were clearly the better team. It's just not every single category.
Substitution for the Rockets and the Wolves.
Win will take their record to 50 wins, a big milestone here tonight. And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Anthony Edwards.
And he was getting buckets all night long, giving the defense that partner.
Looking at who's out there now for the
This is Steven
Timberwolves.
Adams.
Clark, he's checked in for McDaniels. Alexander Walker comes in for Edwards. And Dillingham subbed in for Mike Conley. Here's Dillingham. Pass to Alexander Walker.
Julius Randle.
Timberwolves lead by 19.
Nikita Alexander Walker.
This away and
Just did not tie it down. And that's what probably slams the door for any rookie comebacks. And look, they must just won the bet. And what kind of defense was that? You can't give up wide open threes like that. What are you doing?
There's 38 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Dillingham with it. Pass to Alexander Walker. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Here's Randall. Rockets with the rebound.
well, they'll be happy with that look, even though it didn't fall.
Tough to watch those miss. I'm sure they'll convert the next chance. I just love when teams make it work down low.
Pass to Alexander Walker.
And that's the game. Final score: the Timberwolves 86 and the Rockets 72.
On the floor, completely under control for the vast majority of the game. And whenever there was a misstep, they just didn't allow it to fester. And that's why they're going to walk away with the win.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much. Rudy, your impact on the game defensively, always something to watch. What's your approach at that end?
Just try to win games, you know, and my teammates put it up, trust in me, being aggressive on balls and trying to be aggressive at the rim. And, you know, when we play as a team like we do tonight, it's tough to beat us.
You were in full stack of tower mode tonight. Congrats. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Richard Jefferson, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Hart. We appreciate you tuning in tonight. So long and good night, everyone.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much. And that's going to conclude here for our games of the night. Coverage here for the NBA playoffs on 2K Sports. This was happening, and now the Wolves have already climbed the extension. Yeah, good thing they did. I mean, they've already claimed back already. They just already deserved it all. Here's what I did with the total statistics. It was 59% for the field goals for Minnesota of the Wolves, with the 59% free-pointers, and 100% free throws for the Minnesota Wolves. Then, 12 fast break points for Minnesota Timberwolves with 40 points in the paint. It's like 18 second chance points for the Houston Rockets. Then it was 27 bench points for Minnesota Wolves with 26 assists. And then 20 offensive rebounds for the Houston Rockets. That was for the better play they had. 30 defensive rebounds for Minnesota Timberwolves. Then 10 steals for Houston Rockets. 5 blocks for Minnesota Timberwolves. 7 turnovers for Houston Rockets. 3 fouls on the Houston Rockets. 4 for the dunk for Minnesota Wolves with 20 biggest lead. And 18:03 was the time of possession. They couldn't do anything that's better than that. Well, they would have done. And I guess that they just made it finishing. Composite numbers are just great and answered. Alright, let's have your takes here, Golf Ball, for 3 star players of the game. Alright, thank you very much here. And as for now, the 3rd star starts off with one of our big time takes. It's Julius Randle with 13 points with 3 rebounds, 4 assists, and he had 6 out of 14 field goals with the range with 1 out of 2 3-pointers. 22 performance effort was the only finishing that he had to spin accompanied for. The second star player of the game for the Minnesota Wolves would have to be turned to be the Bear defenseman, Rudy Gobert, with 3 blocks, 2 steals, and he only had 3 assists with 13 rebounds, 10 points in this game. 5 out of 9 field goals. It was just only 1 dunk that he had just did with 17 performance effort. A swat-away killer. And your number 1 star player, the New Balance player of the game that's done for most of his NBA skill. And that challenge goes to Anthony Edwards. 23 points with 3 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 dunks, 38 performance effort, 8 out of 9 field goals, and 3 out of 3 3-pointers. He was really racing it all, and he just finished it in no time. That's the Edward power that he has been doing it for. And well, that's going to do here for our second day of day number 2 of Game 3. Thank you all for watching, and as I always expected you all to enjoy games at home, you'll definitely will love this one of our best part by watching it now on the NBA playlist of the completed postseasons. You'll be able to enter it in and watch anytime from each season from 2020 to 2024. In the meantime, we are finishing it up for this game, and then next game will be Game 4. So be prepared to be on the next take because you're about to witness this for the next one. Anyways, we'll see you all later, everybody. Along with Golf Ball and I, this is Tyler signing out. Thank you all for tuning us in, and we'll see you folks for as a while as the NBA of the 2K Sports and, of course, the completed postseasons of the gameplay dial. Thank you all for tuning, and we'll see you again next time. Good night in Minnesota, everybody. So long.
If you don't, somebody will.